we've learned the hard way. We've grown different varieties. I have to say we make a really good glass of Marshall Foch. The Saval Blanc is our workhorse. We make a super Vidal Blanc bubbly. Vidal Blanc is a great grape for ice wine, as we know, but makes great bubbly. But the two heroes that I think are going to really put us in play is L'Acadie Blanc, developed by Vinelands. It's a beautiful wine and makes a lovely, almost Gris Gewürz-like wine. Depends where you grow it. It's different in Niagara than it is up here. It's different in Nova Scotia, where it's a hero grape.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Is the grape in Nova Scotia. Quite different up here, and we almost get an oily sort of Gewürz Gris to it. It's really very nice, very aromatic. But the other one's Marquette, made out of Wisconsin, developed by the Americans, and now already a VQA grape. It is so good. So we're building our business on what we can grow, what nature is allowing us to grow, and that's maybe us getting smart enough to saying, let's do what's meant to be here and not try and make something else happen that nature just won't let us do it. So, and meanwhile, we got into the cider business. So
yes. Why not?
Ardell Cider, my partner's family's name, Ardell, A-R-D-I-E-L. But we've got a generalist Ardell dry cider, which is made from estate-grown apples, a specific recipe. We sweeten it with juice back, so sort of a winemaker's version of cider. I think it's an awesome cider. It's one of the best on the market, in my opinion, and that's biased. But we do a pear cider, which now just became a generalist, Victoria pear cider. Again,
which I'm very fond of. I'm very fond of that.
Yeah, thank you. And actually, yes, the latest version is, I've got to get you some samples.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
It's a commercial challenge now. It's what I guess be careful what you wish for. I'm now managing sales and marketing on the wine side. So now we got destination as being the primary goal for the winery. But meanwhile, we've got generalist ciders that go out the door, 10 pallets a month, sometimes in the middle of the summer, going to the liquor board. And well, I'm back in the business, I guess, but this time I'm the supplier, I'm the producer, and it's fun. I have to say, I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to retire, to be quite honest. So
I have to ask you, how has the ongoing pandemic impacted things up at the winery?
Could I show you around?
Please do, yes, I'd like that.
Well, I'm sitting in our tasting room. And a lot of my colleagues will know me for my consulting business, but the winery has always been just a hobby, which eventually grew to being a small business, which eventually became a destination. So we have a tasting room. This is our displays. I'm hoping I'm getting the right angle for you.
Super.
Yes. This is our brand, Georgian Hills, and that's our label. That's the old label. We're now just developing a new label. This is our wild and inspired wines, which are all about vinifera grown grapes from Niagara. In particular, this is a Pinot Noir. This is a gold medal winner, actually, from Intervan and also from Wine Line. Last year, we got one for our Chardonnay and one for our Pinot. These are natural ferments, grapes selected by a good colleague. You all know Thomas Batchelder. Thomas has been inspiration to us, and therefore that's why we called it the wild and inspired. The inspiration is to find fruit from amazing sites in Niagara and bring them north and then wild ferment them up here, and so they're all natural. This is our tasting bar. You can see we have all our COVID partitions up, and it's sad, but we've not had a customer now for 10 days. We're back in lockdown. That's that bubbly I was talking about.
Yep, that's the Vidal bubbly there. I think I have a bottle of that downstairs I'm supposed to be tasting.
Well, you pick a good time. And then we do dessert wine. So we got ice cider, ice wine. Can't say it's ice wine. That's actually outside the designated second hierarchy of VQA. So we have to call it frozen on the vine, select late harvest. And here's our cider. I mean, this
Oh,
is
yes.
our cider and the Ardell label. And I don't know if you're going to see that here, but, and then there's the pear cider. But here's the sad part, Jamie. We had set up all winter outside. This was our spring. We had fireplaces in place.
Oh, yes, yeah.
We had a fire pits for everybody. And it's actually raining today. And this was all deep in snow. It was really quite beautiful. But we'd covered our pergolas with sailcloth.
Yes.
And the sailcloth kept us dry and kept the wind out and kept the snow out. People would then go and order their food at the food truck.
Oh, yes, yeah.
A glass of wine at the wine bar. This is our little bee bar. And they could either sit out at a picnic table or come back in underneath and sit under a fire. And we actually even have gas heaters up in the ceiling.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And so we had it all worked out, except we got closed down.
And during the winter, you had snowshoe trails there as well, right?
Correct. Yes, we did. Actually, the snowshoe trails were quite fabulous. I mean, we have 50 acres here, but people can also go to the escarpment.
How has the wild and inspired range been received? I enjoyed them a great deal. I absolutely loved them. But what's the response been?
You know, up here, we're very fortunate to have people who they come here for the weekends, the private ski clubs, private golf clubs.
Yes.
They're super savvy, knowledgeable wine consumers, and they're willing to buy Ontario, but they want the best, and they know Pinot Chard, and quite honestly, they have the budget for it. We've been very fortunate. We've seen it just climbing steadily, and we're getting a following. That has been a really good. It got us people that would normally come here. I mean, they're not going to. I mean, if I showed you Marshall Foch, I mean, people like it, but you got to understand the flavor of that grape. And try and say it. But the one I'm kind of excited about is we're taking our old label, and this is our new label. It's hard to see, but it's.
Oh no, I can see that. Oh, that's that definitely is an improvement on the old one. Yes, yeah.
And so this is a newer look, but this is the new Marquette grape about to be launched. And then we've got something that's fun. I mean, this is kind of the marketing in me, but this is called Naughty Bay, and it's called Naughty Bay Blanc, and it's basically a blend of 3 local grown grapes, and we just know that a lot of millennials don't really care about the different grape varieties. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah. They will. They will. They'll become more experts than I am or you are, but they're going to say, I really don't want to know what Céval Blanc, Vidal Blanc, Lacadie Blanc. We just call it Naughty Bay Blanc, and Naughty Bay after Nottawasaga Bay, which is the main bay out here in Georgian Bay. So anything that grows north of Highway 89, all our water sheds north into Georgian Bay, which is Nottawasaga Bay.
You have a Naughty Bay Red also, right?
Rouge.
Yes, sorry.
Rouge, definitely.
And I'm curious, what goes in there?
That is Baco Noir, Marshall Foch, and Marquette. And it's actually intentionally meant to be a jammy, yummy red, and we chill it slightly, and that does very well. It's a great barbecue wine. So years of being in the Canadian wine industry, years of being with the New Zealanders, I guess it's time to create a new wine region along with some other colleagues in this region. I mean, my hat off to definitely Coffin Ridge. They're a pioneer almost at the same time. And then more recently, Roost. And we're going to see a couple of new wineries opening up down in Creemore that way. So who knows where the climate's going to take us? Certainly it's more about variation. It's not necessarily warming. We can have just as cold a winter or just as hot a summer, I'll say, but our problems are extreme heat or extreme wet or extreme cold.
Yes, yeah, of course.
So it will be interesting to see where, if I were to live another 50 years, where South Georgian Bay will be in 50 years, like where Niagara was 50 years ago when I first actually started working for a Niagara winery. Was just not far off 50 years ago.
Robert, thank you so much for joining us today, telling us all about Georgian Hills Vineyards and what you're doing up there. We look forward to seeing you some point soon. Hopefully we can come around and taste at your tasting bar and enjoy the property up there. Bye for now.
Come and join us. Thanks, Jamie.
Stay safe.